Have you talked to any of them since?
Some.
Do you want them back in your life?
No.
Or are you kind of like, you know what? If you can't do this with me,
No.
you're not shooting in the gym, you're out.
No. It's like, what do they say? Like, show me who you are. Like, if they show you or believe them.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm done.
Do you want to talk about the 14 Friends saga for people who don't know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy to.
Yeah.
So when I started the show, I had a group of friends that were not supportive, and they essentially dropped me.
14 of them?
I sort of said the number 14 to Lisa Rinna, and it was like an arbitrary number because I was sort of explaining it that it felt so big. Like, I have like 14 friends that won't talk to me now. So it was kind of a made up number, but it wasn't one, you know?
Yeah.
And it never went farther than that on the show because it was about the show.
Sure.
So it's breaking the fourth wall. So it was kind of like touched on and mysterious, like, why did Crystal lose friends? It was about the show. So we just sort of, no one talked about it because they knew it was about the show. And then the other side of it is like, you have the most incredible, like, your best friends really show up and show out for you. They filmed with me. I'm doing Watch What Happens Live tonight. They're in town to come with me. They did Taco Tuesday. You'll see that crew. And like, you know, and they really are super supportive. Every time, like, I have to go in, it's my turn. I feel like it's my turn tonight. I have to, like, you know, argue with someone. They like root me on. They're like, you can do it. So yeah, it's the whole gamut, And my family, super supportive. You
Which
have
is
to have
very important.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have to in this experience. Like, if they're not into it, they don't really like want to be on the show, but they're like, if this is your choice, like, we're all in.
So the 14 friends.
Yeah.
Have you talked to any of them since?
Some.
Do you want them back in your life?
No.
Or are you kind of like, you know what? If you can't do this with me,
No.
you're not shooting in the gym, you're out.
No. It's like, what do they say? Like, show me who you are. Like, if they show you or believe them.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm done.
That's wild.
It's wild.
Was it the show itself that they didn't like, or what was it about that experience that made them
I actually think it's
take off?
I think it's kind of a broader sort of idea of like when someone does well or success or outside of the box that they've put you in, that it makes them uncomfortable. And it's really about them, not me. But at the time, because I'm such a people pleaser, I really made it about me. And I really, I talk about it. I have a whole episode about it on the podcast, but I literally I dumbed myself down on the show. I quieted myself because I was so uncomfortable about coming out on the like being big on the show, to like appease them. And so, yeah, it's very complicated, but it's life lessons. And, you know, I came out of it and much stronger, and my boundaries are much clearer.
So you are Chinese.
I am Chinese.
I am Indian.
Yes.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, was any of this related to cultural norms with you? Because with Indian people, there is definitely this notion of don't stand out, don't try to get the spotlight, be in the attention zone. You don't want that. You just want to blend in, do really well at what you're doing, and move on.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in entertainment. Was any of that a part of the friend circle?
So I would say that is exactly how I felt, just personally, whether it was yes or no for me doing the show. I think that's why you don't see a lot of Asian people on TV, especially in reality.
Yeah.
We're taught to put your head down, work hard, don't make waves, don't create attention.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember at the time, I got asked, you know, midsummer 2020. This was height of BLM. Anti-Asian hate crimes are happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember asking the producers, like, how many Asian people are you interviewing with me? And like, you're it. And I said to my husband, like, if I don't say yes, that is one less Asian person who's going to be on TV
Yes.
for representation. And I remember I had the weight of the world on my shoulders. I was so stressed out, but I also felt like it was vital. My mom like locked herself in her house for 3 weeks because they were just randomly attacking Asian people at that time. And I just felt this kind of, the universe was pushing me at this time. I think I said yes. It was like the world brought it to me at the right time. In terms of the friends, I hope not. I hope not that was a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to just lean into that's not what it was, because that would be too devastating. I mean, I just feel like it was based on them just, you know, being outside the box of what they wanted from me or expected from me.
Which
but
is none
yeah.
of their business, but Yeah.
You think that. You think that. But yeah, no, people, they show their true colors when things like this happen. And you just have to respond to that.
You're very well put together for the wild ride I would imagine it was over, I don't really want to do this. Holy crap, I'm on this ride now and everything's happening. How do you feel you represented yourself and the Asian culture?
Wow. Well, I try not to have regrets, but I do look back on wishing I was more outspoken and less scared. But I did have a lot of that fear influence on me. I think saying yes to begin with was already a lot as a Chinese person. But I remember telling the producers, I said, it's so important that I get to share my culture on the show. That's why I did making dumpling nights. I hosted Chinese New Year. They allowed all those moments for me. And I just like, because they always, they always want it to look really fancy. So like, what about your chef? I'm like, well, I don't have a chef.
I
like,
am the chef.
I cook dumplings. I'm actually a chef. So like, that's what I do. And my first event was dumpling making in my kitchen, very casual. But I said, this is who I am as a real person. And it's really important. I'm going to do all the other stuff that you need me to do. But like, if I can have these couple things, like that would be really great. And then they let me have my first year, the finale party, which was a big deal. They don't usually do finales for first-time cast members. And I got to close it out with Chinese New Year. And that was really special. And all the girls, there was a lot of infighting per usual, but they were so respectful. It was like my mom was there, Marshall, her boyfriend was there. And I just said, like, this is really, really special for me. And if you guys could just show up in a way that's, you're not going to ruin it. And yeah, I thought it was great.
So when you say you were sort of operating under some fear, what were you scared of?
I think, being Asian, you want to represent it's not just about you. It's about your kids, your family, your parents, your grandparents. And then beyond that, it's the whole community, right? Being
what
Chinese.
Will they say?
Yes. And like, I want it to be perfect for everybody. I wanted them to feel proud of what they're seeing. And what's scary is that it's a show that's not necessarily designed to make you look good.
Oh, I don't think so.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but it's not like I was an actress, had other opportunity. It just kind of came to me, and it just felt like this was my moment to do this. But I really, really, I really worked hard to try and represent properly, but it took such an emotional toll on me because my husband was like, you are not every Chinese person.
Yes.
You are.
There are a billion of you. You can't represent all of them.
Correct. And he's like, he was my guide, through this whole thing. And he's like, there's just you. You're a singular person. You happen to be Chinese. You happen to be very much ingrained in your culture. And I'm a Jewish man. We have half Jewish kids and Chinese kids. And like, this is who we are. And like, you just can represent yourself, be yourself. And that's it. And I'm like, okay, of course, that was like, I don't know if I took his advice, but I tried, and that was really helpful. But yeah, I mean, I really had the weight of the world on my shoulders, and that's on me. I mean, that was just my personal feeling. But no, I mean, I'm overall happy. I just wish I was louder.